I did confirm that with her, so.
October 10th. Open and close the meeting. I'm here, I got this thing.
Hello, all right, let's go.
I get home and watch the Golden Bachelor or something stupid.
Yeah, I got one, son.
All right, we're on YouTube.
All right,
Is it?
we're live?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah, there we are. Oh, hi, I'm on TV. All right, hello, welcome everybody. We're going to call the meeting to order at 6:04. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alrighty. First thing we have on our agenda tonight, we have approval of minutes, public and non-public, from September 26th. And I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of non-public and public of September 26th.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Sure. Why tonight?
Yes, you can second.
I can second it?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll second it.
Yep. All right. So we have a second. Let's see. Any comments? Because you were not there, right? You were not there either, right? Actually, you want to table these until Danielle gets here, and so then therefore we'll have a majority of people voting for it. All right. So if no further ado, we'll table the minutes until Danielle gets here.
Well, it'd be 2-2, what's the big deal?
Yeah. Well, then it wouldn't pass. So let's not do that. All right. Public comment. Good evening.
No.
Hi.
Hi. Any
I've
public
got
comment?
nothing.
Up top of the hour? No.
Other than you actually can approve them if you're not here.
Yeah. I know, but
But go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Continuing business. I'll wait on Wellness Committee till Danielle gets back. Finance and facilities. So I was there, and hope you were there. And oh, hey, good. There's Danielle.
Hello.
All right. I couldn't download the packet on my. Oh wait, maybe now I can do it. I
As soon as you back up to the minutes then.
Grab Kathleen's extra packet.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She's not gonna need that. She won't be here tonight.
Tim,
Yes.
once you back up to the minutes then.
Okay, yeah.
You got it in here.
Yeah, we haven't even done the rest. All right, so we'll go back to the minutes. Did you have anything on the minutes that we saw?
No.
Okay. We already have a motion on the floor. All those in favor of approving the minutes? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's it might be a matter of memory, but there's, I don't know if it really matters. It's under EIC, line 12. It says, I informed the board that I received many thank you messages from parents and community. I don't believe that was me.
It wasn't you.
Yeah.
No, wasn't
And I don't remember really talking about butlers, but I know it was discussed.
That was Amanda, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So just a couple of, I think Kathleen said that,
Oh, maybe.
about she was received thank yous and, but other than that, good.
Okay. Other than that, good. All right, cool. Anything else? All right. All those in favor of the
No,
minutes?
that was all Amanda.
That was all
The
Amanda?
she is Amanda, inform the board.
Oh,
She
okay.
received many thank you
Okay.
messages, and then she talked about the bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
All
got
right,
it
cool.
down there.
All right. All good? All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes, public and non-public, from 9:26, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions?
The two of
Got
us.
2 of them abstaining. All right, cool. Are you going to do wellness minutes?
Yes, they're not in your packet because I'm still getting over the illness, but I do have my pen scratching notes, which I will type up, and I'll have Rick Simula, who was selected chair, take a look. He also had notes before he had to run to pick up his daughter from daycare. We set meeting dates in November, January, March, and May. So we continue having meetings just during the school year, and they'll be on Wednesdays at 3:30 to better allow for staff to attend. We don't currently have a student representative. But they're working on that for the next meeting. reach out to the Getting to Y students who had participated in IRS and are now ninth graders to see if that's something they want to continue. It was a small group, so we did not do the annual review of the wellness policy JLCF, but that is on the agenda for the November meeting. We had some conversation about the food pantry. Access is doing okay. We talked about what were the needs and some different conversations about food boxes during the school. So Cynthia Colia was going to have conversations about that, to get that set up with our friends from Friends of Mascoma. Anton was not there, but he had been in contact with Rick, and things seem to have been going swimmingly so far. There had been also a follow-up. There had been a student suggestion in the last school year about maybe getting a vending machine, and so we talked a little bit about that and pros and cons of it. I think that there'll probably be more conversation about some of that in the coming meetings. There's nothing new to report over the summer about composting, and we had folks from the prevention side of things. So we talked about Getting to Y at IRS. It has not started as of yet because they were still looking for a staff advisor. There's also a possibility of doing something at the high school, but there's also not a staff advisor at the high school. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll get something going because there was some student passion and energy there around that. There is a Vaping 101 presentation that is going to be held here at the high school on November 7th at 6 p.m. They're working on the flyers. I don't think that's been distributed yet, but I think that will go out. It's for parents and caregivers. Talked about possibly having some food available there, and if perhaps a community service project for Interact or SALT or NHS, there could be childcare for younger siblings. And then last but not least, we talked, Alice Ely from the Public Health Council mentioned the flu clinics that are happening in the area. And that information I think was shared or could be shared. Those are walk-in clinics, no registration in advance needed. There's going to be one at the one in Enfield. I forget if it's at the community building or at Shaker. I think community building, because they're not doing any of the drive-throughs this year.
Yeah.
And then at the Mascoma Community Health. So those are coming up.
And we'll do them at the school too.
Yes, at the school, but for
These are for
community ones,
yeah.
community ones, and also for families 10 and up.
I
Ages 10 and
remember
up.
what I signed my kid up for.
Yeah, right.
For a flu shot, yeah.
Right. So yes, so that was a quick recap, and I'll get the written stuff so that can be included in the packet.
Cool.
The next meeting will be Wednesday, November 8th.
Any questions for Danielle on that? For any committees that need student representatives, we should be using the student government, the elected students there, because that would be students I would think have some civic interest in doing things like that. So I would let's start pulling from there, and we'll talk about student representative on here later. So, all right. Any other questions? Everybody good? All right. Cool. Next, finance facilities. We met last week. Corrado gave us his update. Dan has been very valuable doing facilities management, and so that's been helped keep our maintenance budget down because he's doing things that we would normally hire outside contractors to do. So this is really good stuff. They're working on the budget for each schools for the facilities parts.
Online.
Let's see. So we did receive the Energy Class Prize Champion. Corrado's been working hard at that, meeting with mentors and working with the Department of Energy. He's working on a draft for our district sustainability plan, and he'll have that to us as well. So he has another next level of prize he's going to try to compete for. So going for that. So they picked one more prize winner out of the 25 who've already won it. So we're one of 25 in the nation that have won it. One of those 25 gets an additional 50,000. So he's going to try for that. So he's kind of talked about what that money would be able to be used for. Has to be for sustainability. Can be used. It's going to be used for educating Corrado. We can do savings guaranteed in the plan. Develop this plan for sustainability, as well as we can take a portion of this prize money and use it to establish our sustainability capital reserve fund. And we discussed that a bit. So we'll be able to present that on the ballot this year on the warrant. We'll talk about that. But it'd be nice because that way that seed money is already coming from this, so we can get started. And Corrado's going to come up with an idea of how much he thinks we should start with in there. Talk transportation. We also talked to Sustainability Committee, and so we'll have to talk about that too. Transportation, we met with Adams Carroll, who's the Executive Director of Advanced Transit. So he joined us via Google Meet, and this is really mostly to open a conversation between Advanced Transit and the district. Just to find out, because we have a lot of kids that use Advanced Transit after school from the high school here, and so we wanted to see how can we better partner to serve serve the students' needs. Is there things that Advanced Transit can do? So we just talked about the times that the bus comes up by the school, and we talked about being able to promote those times. He said right now the bus that comes from Canaan, it leaves Canaan at 6:20 and drives by here at 6:25, 6:30, and it's not in service, but he said if we find that there's demand, that we have students that would take that bus from the high school towards Enfield, that they will open that bus back up and put it back into service for us. But we can certainly start promoting this as options for parents and options for our high schoolers. We also talked about, because right now there's a stop for the bus and it is down at South Road. He can move that to right across the street from the crosswalk. So that'd be safer for everybody. Talked about, can we get the buses to pull in? And we'll have to do a survey of parents to find out, is there more that you would like for, these types of buses? What other transportation needs do you have outside the regular school day? And stuff like that. So there's that. Deb gave us some update on the budget, just working on the elementary and the middle and high school budgets, and worked with Michelle on that. She completed the DOE 25 and did working on the apportionments for the town. You have bids in your packet today for propane, pellet, and oil. Electric pricing is going up from 9.8 cents per kilowatt hour to 10.9 in November, but that is still lower than the Enfield Community Power, so that's still a really good deal. Hope I asked about some bus credits, so we're looking at that. Talking again about cafe services and following up on negative balances. Talked again about bus driver shortage, and we had a packet. Did you put that in this packet? Or
I do believe it's in your informational.
Okay, yeah, the informational. It was a list of other districts and what they're missing for bus drivers. So you can kind of see, I'm trying to see if it's in this packet, where it is. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is,
Your
yep.
last page.
Yep, looks like this.
Yeah.
So you can see these are other districts and what they're missing for bus drivers, how many routes they've had to double, how many routes they've had to completely cut, things like that. So that's pretty good information. We talked about driver's ed, how we're just down to one teacher, and then we now know that the other teacher is not coming back. And so she's been able to adjust the schedule to accommodate all the students. We all talked again about the price. And yeah, so that was that. We also talked again about confirming with the town. We confirmed that the town is responsible for the dugout that's fallen down behind CES. We have to keep following up on this because I don't think it actually went to anybody at the town. So we wanted to take care of that for the safety. It is the town's responsibility to keep on the upkeep of the buildings and structures there. So we're going to keep on that. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Solar coming up or not?
Yeah, that's part of his sustainability
Is
plan.
that what he's trying to do?
Yeah, that's
And
what he's
then
looking at.
The thing is, the advanced transit
Yep.
is, they usually stop outside here by the
Yep.
emergency thing, right?
Mhm, yep.
That's where they usually stop.
Yep.
Okay?
When they're heading towards Lebanon, that's where they stop.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when they stop and the kids are getting off. Or
Yep.
kids are getting on or whatever. I mean, Yeah, okay, it hasn't changed that.
Nope, nope, that hasn't changed, and that will,
Last minute, I had to cancel out, 'cause I was too busy at work,
it's all good.
so, and, yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
I have it in my packet, though.
That one if you want.
Any other
Put it
questions?
in my packet, so that's a,
You better
One-
hope not, because
one-
Mark will take offense.
one demerit in the
You better
next.
hope, you better hope it's not in there.
It better.
What?
You better
It's
hope
not, it's not in there, I went through the paperwork like shredded to find it, it's not there.
All right. Any further questions about finance facilities?
No, next meeting is,
Okay.
next month, I'll not be here.
All right, I'll be there. Communications
It's in
committee.
November, so.
Do you want to talk about that? All right.
You've got,
I only stay, wait a minute, no, it's November, what's November 8th?
that
I don't
is,
know.
oh,
It's a
Wednesday.
I won't be here.
You won't be here? You'll be gone?
That's the opening day of deer season. I am going deer hunting, come hell high water,
Wait.
sorry. So,
We're not on the 1st?
We should be on the first.
We should be on November 1st.
we should be on November 1st,
Yeah.
we should be on the 8th. The first-
Yeah, all right, well,
November,
The first Wednesday of the month is when we have
Should be
our
the
meeting,
first.
so it should be the 1st. Should be November 8th.
That's why they're draft minutes.
yeah, I have, yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, we'll make sure that we all know it'll be there.
Thank you.
We'll all know it'll be
I'm going
there.
deer hunting Wednesday, so.
Good.
The 8th, I'm
So,
not
no,
coming to
we-
any damn meeting on
We're-
Wednesday, no matter
yeah.
what it is.
You can call in.
Okay?
No, it'll be on the 1st. It'll be on the
Okay,
1st.
First.
Thank you for catching that. All right.
right.
Go ahead, communications.
Communications, you've got some brief minutes in your packet. We talked about, as usual, website and the Mascoma Schools app. As you might imagine, with the beginning of the school year and people looking up bus routes, there was a jump in website clicks, so that was cool. Working on trying to figure out why the app, the new downloads decreased and the app seems to be missing from app stores, so I was gonna look into that. We discussed a draft policy, it's included in your packet, related to the
No,
sign.
that's not in our packet. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was on the back.
Yeah.
What's that?
A sign policy. It's still a draft. It's not for the board to review yet. We had to
Something
look
about
at
up there?
Yeah, the
electronic
any-
sign.
Right. Why is
Well,
it-
We can talk about it.
not just the electronic sign,
I'm
but
sorry to
also
interrupt you, but I wanna know
Yeah.
why you get a
Yeah.
policy for that.
as well. Not just that sign, but the signs at EBS and CES as well, just to essentially establish the priority of what kind of information goes on there and who is in charge of it. So, like for instance, that's not just, that sign at the bottom of the hill isn't just for high school news, it can be used for IRS news
It
as well.
is, yeah.
Yeah, so, just that kind of stuff, that's,
Oh.
yeah,
Alright.
that's the basic, just a bit, I'm sure that when it's been,
Officially.
officially reviewed and brought to the board, I'm sure we can have more conversations about that. And then yearbook photos, that was a policy question that had come up, and Principal Fleming is going to be tasked with looking at that. And we did talk about communications related to bus routes and changes, and had an example of a of a good outcome. There was a elementary route in Enfield that had an edit to it, and the communication came out a week in advance. Parents were contacted by phone as well, and that seemed to be very well received. So, looking at how to do more of that, even though it's more time intensive, it ended up being very much appreciated by families, and ended up with less kind of feedback, negative feedback on the other end. And then lastly, we talked about, there's some concerns that some of the teams weren't necessarily being covered by the Valley News, and so there's a reminder that the coaches need to submit their information so that it can be included. And that did go out to coaches by the AD. So. Cool. Next meeting is on December 7th. We'll start talking about that time to redesign the website. Looking at, believe it or not, we're at kind of the end of the useful life of the sign at the bottom of Royal Road. And so what the process would be for that, and then what we find out about yearbook picture procedures.
Okay. Any questions for Danielle on that?
I
For
have a
communications?
question on the
Yes.
bus route communication.
On what?
The bus route
Oh, bus,
communication.
yeah.
So it says parents were contacted via phone.
Correct.
How does that happen?
Yeah, the school staff, the
Exactly
building
what you
staff, the building staff made phone calls. They broke up the list of
Yeah.
everyone that was impacted on that bus route.
Right.
And they did, a certain amount every day to make sure, like, hey, did you see that there was a text? Oh yeah, and there was an email, and this is how it's going to impact your family.
Did anyone ever look at the Alma portion of, because they do advertise bus transportation on their website, that do we
So-
know what they offer?
I have not looked into that yet.
Okay, because they do, right there, say bus
Right.
transportation, and I thought it was something along that line.
And Alma is rolling out, for school communication.
Right.
There are, because it's the first year of going into that, there's
just-
still some communications that are going out on school messenger.
Right.
And so I think it sounded like from our brief conversation about some of the different types of systems that are currently in use within the school community, it sounded like there's a bit of patchwork going on right now, and
right.
as Alma becomes more of what happens,
I
I
guess
think
it'd be
there'll be more
interesting to
exploration
know
around
what
that.
they offer,
Yep.
if it were that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's really great they did that, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, cool. I would also, on that note, I'd be interested to see if we can find out how many people are using Alma, how many parents have downloaded it or are logging into it. I don't know if that's something we can get access to, but that would be a good, because we made this big switch to this new system, so I would like to know if our parents using it. Would Alma be an effective messaging system, I guess is my question. So,
And if that, of course, I don't have a kid in school anymore, so I don't get any of these messages, but if it's used similar to Plus Portals, I would imagine a great time to check on kind of app penetration would be after the first set of report cards.
yeah.
And see
See
who's
who's
checking
looked
out.
at it.
Yeah.
I can tell you from the amount of students that had their privileges revoked here, just from talking to parents, they saw Alma sends out a progress report.
Yeah, I got
And
it.
parents have seen that and reacted to it, which is much better than Plus Portals.
Great.
You have to go in and look. This one
Yeah.
emails you something right away.
That was very easy to look at all my
It was
kids'
very
grades.
easy to
It was
look
very
at.
nice.
I don't want to.
They don't want me to, but
They do.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your kids are gonna stay out of trouble,
Yeah. It's my kids. man.
especially when you're on the board.
That's right. All right, cool. Anything else for communications?
No.
All right, superintendent's report. What you got, Amanda?
You do have my written report in your packet. We are a full month here into school, doing well. It's been a very busy start, but I think we have overcome some obstacles and we've helped move on. Homecoming was lovely. I think we talked about that briefly last time, but I just wanted to make sure to thank the community, all the organizations that promoted it, all the people that volunteered and donated. Just very, very helpful, very nice event for our students. I should let the board know that on Thursday, September 28th, I did go to see Dartmouth had the Surgeons General there. I believe there were 7 of them, including the current one. So I did go listen to their panel on the future of mental health and wellness.
Wow.
It was lovely. It was very powerful. I sat right up front. I went to the Hanover Inn afterward for the reception. I got to meet 4 of them.
Cool.
They kept educators at bay a little bit, but I did manage to meet 4 of them and to chat with a couple of them. So it was very nice. And the current Surgeon General, it's hard to pluralize that surgeon's piece.
It is. It doesn't roll off the tongue very
It
well.
does not, but it's the proper grammar. So the current Surgeon General really spoke a lot about mental health, and I think that's an important piece, and glad to hear it, and looking to support you know, not just students, but teachers as well. So it was a very nice event.
Cool.
And yesterday I attended the monthly meeting, and I will be a permanent member. I've been invited to join that for the Canaan Economic Committee. So that's a nice meeting at the Mascoma Health Center. I do act as the liaison for the school district to the town of Canaan. Some great things, and I think we'll be able to partner with them to do some very wonderful things to promote the school district. One of the things that we've already done is send them, they're really pushing out any information that we have, things happening at the school. My newsletter goes out to them, and that way it'll go out this Friday. We were too late last week to get it out, by just barely too late, but it's okay. So that'll go out to the townsfolk can see what we're doing. They can look at, for instance, the play that's coming up on, is it 4, 5, 6?
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. So that will go out. We've sent a flyer to them to promote that to the town for this Friday's news blast from them. So just looking to really get the community involved in some of the great things that we're doing here. Still a few job openings if anybody needs another job.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. Any questions for Amanda?
If anyone was interested in the Surgeons General events, there's both the symposium that happened on the Thursday afternoon, and then there was also, not all of them, but 5 of them also did another session at the medical school on Friday. Both of those were archived were live streamed and archived on YouTube, so if you're interested. But both of them were very powerful.
Did you go to the
Yeah.
Thursday one?
Yeah.
They were awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good, and there was just a really interesting energy around. But yeah, such a wealth of expertise and very passionate people.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. The Enfield newsletter goes out on the 1st of the month, and so if you're already sending out things,
Do you have a contact for that?
I would just send it to the town manager's office.
Send it to Ed.
Send it to Ash. Okay.
Yeah.
Ed Boris.
Yeah.
Actually,
Because it
send
would
it
be.
to Elisa Bonet.
Yeah, I think it's
Lisa, yeah.
yeah. But it would be great to get to get some stuff in there as well.
Okay. While you did just say the high school play is on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The middle school play is early this year. It's before our next meeting. It is the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It escapes me right now what they're doing. Do you know what they're doing?
I don't.
I forget completely. I knew it too.
Yeah,
But middle school play.
That's what they have now.
Are they doing Sleepy
They're having a
Hollow?
What?
Are they doing Sleepy Hollow?
Yes, Sleepy Hollow. The Legend
Look
of
at that.
Sleepy Hollow.
Just ask the.
That's the person who knows.
Ask her. Just ask her.
All right, so put that on your calendars, folks. That'll be a good time. All right. Anything else for Amanda? Okay. Business Administrator's Report. You have financials in your packet. Any questions for that?
How's the other one learning? She learning the other one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Coming along real well. She got payroll down now.
Yeah.
Yep. I would like to ask the board if we can modify our agenda for new business when we get into new business here coming up. We have the delegate assembly for the School Board Association is coming up before our next meeting, Saturday the 14th. And so you will have here on your desk, you have the resolutions that have been proposed. These were also emailed to you at some point from the School Board Association. And Hope is going to be going to that. And so we need to discuss real briefly up or down, yes, no on these resolutions. So I'll entertain a motion to modify the agenda.
What's the difference? What do you have?
Because it's not on the agenda, so we have to talk about it. We have to put it on the agenda to talk about it.
Oh.
It's not on there, is it?
No, it's under agenda for next meeting.
Oh, yeah, it was supposed to be for next meeting, but then we realized that the actual assembly is going to be.
I'll make a motion, put it on.
All right. Brewster motions, Danielle seconds. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. So, do you want to do these next, or do you want to do these at the end of our new business?
Let's just fly through.
Let's fly. Let's
go.
do it. All right. So you have your packet of resolutions before you. So you can see each one, the school board of directors, the NHSBA board of directors has an do they support this or do they not? That sort of thing. So the first one here is from Oyster River, proposing any policy that the school board association oppose any policy affecting curriculum that enables parents, guardians, or other individuals or organizations to circumvent already extant local school board review policies and exposes teachers to civil suits and sanctions at the state level. They talked about the HB2 with that and lack of clarity, yada, yada, yada. You can read that. Board of Directors does not support. You can read their reasonings here, just being very broad and non-specific. So I'm fine sticking with the Board of Directors recommendation on this one myself.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
Amanda?
I would go with what the lawyers say on this.
Yeah.
What?
Talks about some litigation in there, you want to be very careful. I think their idea for the alternative language and to split it out into more specific sections is wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one is proposed by Dover, affirming the qualification of school librarians to research and select appropriate digital and printed material for school libraries. You can continue reading there. Did other rationales because of the sharp increase in book challenges across school districts. Has put many qualified librarians in position defending under great public scrutiny their reasoning for including certain material in their collections. So the Board of Directors supports alternative language, and you can read their alternative language here, affirming the qualifications of school district staff to research and select appropriate digital and printed materials. Literary and curricular collections should offer students information that provides a balance of cultural values. Further, literary collections should represent diverse points of view, provide a global perspective, and stimulate essential thinking skills and meet the interests, abilities, learning styles, and information needs of the learning community. So, I like their alternative resolution myself. Any thoughts on that?
I'm okay with the alternative.
Yeah, a lot of times I find that once they've gone through the lawyer mill,
Yeah.
it comes out a little cleaner, and I appreciate that. Any other thoughts on that one, librarians? Okay. Next one, supported by Raymond, to include an estimate of actual food service costs for the upcoming year in the preparation of the default budget. This is a good the board of directors did not support it. They think they understand the rationale, but it's way too narrow because you can't guess that sort of thing. They're asking Raymond to bring back a broader solution next year to other services and things like that. So, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I'd like the idea of being able to, it
Include
essentially
that.
is looking at the, at universal,
Yeah.
food service, and that's tough, and it's hard enough to estimate what we think it might be for
Yeah.
any pass-throughs, and
Any other thoughts?
I know they had a resolution in the past last year for universal lunches, so that
That's good.
is,
You'll
In
see
there.
that there's another one too.
It's at the
Right.
very end.
Concord.
Yeah, it's way at the
but they
very
passed
end.
it last year.
I don't, you'd have to look at the difference between the two. The Concord one, it's the very, very last one. It was in too late, so you'd have to vote it again, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the
Two-thirds.
differences are in those two. The one that passed.
I think it's wise. I mean, a broader, it's not just food.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just food. I agree. I'd like to see what they come back with next year.
Go along with the NHB.
Yeah.
SBA. I'd go along with whatever NHB, SBA.
Mostly, yeah.
That's just.
I just want to go through it so that way we've gone through, so Hope knows if there's any concerns that anyone
Write
has.
it down.
Yeah. Next one from Monadnock. NHSBA will support any legislation that intends to streamline the recruiting, credentialing, and hiring of certified teachers from other states. That's it in a nutshell. The board of directors support alternative language. Basically the same thing, but not, different words that lawyers like. So, supporting both, making it sound, supporting both state of New Hampshire credentialing laws and interstate compacts and reciprocity between New Hampshire and other neighboring states. So I Any thoughts on that one?
I'm fine with the alternative wording. I wonder if it could be brought into just reciprocity in general.
Mhm.
You know, if we have people that are relocating from outside of neighboring states, if that would give a larger pool and an easier credentialing pathway. But I'm fine with
Okay.
the way it is for now.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Are you saying you'd rather they say, instead of neighboring states? In other words, broaden that? Is that what-
I mean, if it comes up, I'd just be interested in what the conversation is around it, like why we just say,
only neighboring?
yeah, why just neighboring states? Is there
Okay.
a reason for that? Is it based on existing
Familiarity
statutes or within other industries? Is that?
Manchester School Board's
how
got
it's
a lot of
done?
say, don't they?
Yeah. All right. Okay, next one, submitted by Monadnock as well. Supporting legislation that would clarify the responsibility and accountability of parents/guardians of students who do not conduct themselves according to local laws or school policies. This is talking about behavioral challenges and clarifying protocols for school districts to follow in disciplining students and holding parents and guardians accountable. They support alternative language, which reads, the NHSBA urges the New Hampshire Legislature and Department of Education to clarify the responsibilities, obligations, and rights of school boards and school districts when students do not attend school on a regular basis, are habitually truant, or otherwise do not conform to the rules and regulations of the district. I think that waters it down a little bit. Oh, I see. The rationale is about truancy and disruptive student behavior. So if they're happy with that, then that's great for me. Any thoughts on that one?
I'm okay with that.
All right. Next one, Monadnock as well, supporting legislation that creates flexibility for town moderators and moderators of cooperative school districts to postpone school district elections in the event of inclement weather. Board of Directors has said straight up support. I would support that. As we all know, moderators need more leeway and to be able to call it, reschedule if they need to. So
Better find a new one. because his-
that's right. We do have to find a new one after
Better find a
buying.
new one. Bonnie ain't gonna do it again.
That's right. Is that this year she's up?
Yep.
All right. Next one, supported by Manchester Board of School Committee. Manchester is finally joined the NHSBA again.
Dan down.
So this is talking about increasing that they are advocating that the state increased funding significantly for building aid. And the board of directors just said straight up support. And the rationale is $50 million is not nearly enough to meet the needs of New Hampshire schools. Thoughts on that?
That is true.
That is-
Supported.
That's a slam dunk. I hope you take like 10 seconds to discuss that. Next one, again from Manchester. They're all in. Hey, you might remember this one. This is talking about pre-K. They propose strengthening the language of the continuing resolution. Advocate for funding for universal pre-K programming and related facilities. This one that's in here, the current resolution, we support the study of the establishment of additional state adequacy aid for public pre-K from 2017. That was our resolution. So, hooray!
Yes.
Thank you to Manchester for taking it to the next level. Any thoughts on that one?
No, let's hope that it moves forward.
Yeah?
So what is, asking for actual funding for it, and their alternative resolution is asking for the establishment of the
No.
study?
No.
I'm a little confused.
That's the current resolution. So we already have, there's already a resolution, Resolution 2S.
Right,
And that says NHSBA supports the study of the establishment of additional state adequacy aid. And theirs is saying, get the word study out of there, supports additional, take out the words the study of the establishment of,
right.
and just say supports the additional state adequacy aid for public pre-K.
Oh, okay, okay. Not supports the study. Okay, gotcha.
Right, get the study out and just say straight up, we support.
Okay.
Could have figured the school board.
Yeah.
one,
All right, good on that?
Stop studying. Just do it.
We've studied it enough, we know it's needed. All right, another one from Manchester. Proposed resolution, we support advocating for state sustainability initiatives, opportunities, and targeted goals for energy efficiency and the expansion of renewable energy, resources for electric school buses, and capital funding dedicated to sustainability-related building, construction, renovation, and infrastructure. Board of Directors does not support this. While this may be an important issue for some school boards, the proposal does not necessarily relate to school board governance or relate directly to education. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I appreciate where they're coming from. I think this is a topic that this board has seemed to be interested in. So.
If I was there I would go against the board of directors' recommendation. I would go for this one myself. Because I don't think there's any harm in advocating for more sustainability initiatives and increasing it is a part of schools. It is a part of school board and directly to education because we have to fund it and we have to take care of our energy in order to have a building, so.
That's why we want the solar panels.
Exactly.
That's why they've been after the solar panels since I've been on this board.
And other states make it very easy for school districts to get involved in that sort of thing, and this state does not.
Yeah, I know.
Any thoughts on that?
Till hope to push them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would be
All right.
into this, but I mean, I appreciate their rationale there.
I don't care about the electric buses. Okay,
Well, I
the
mean-
buses I don't worry about. I don't care about electric buses.
Right.
It's the construction and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, the other thing is it isn't necessarily, I disagree when they say it's not directly related to education in the sense that there is a very large issue out there called climate change.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
related to education.
I mean, these kids are thinking about it.
They sure are,
So-
they're gonna be dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly. You better come with some
You gotta think
solutions.
about when it's 10 feet of snow out there.
So,
Climate change.
is it, all right, taking the temperature of the board, are you good if Hope goes against their recommendation on that one?
Yes.
All right, there you go, Hope, you heard it here. Next one, also from Manchester, they recommend, propose advocating that Medicaid be used, there you go, as primary calculator for free and reduced lunch numbers. Advocating for the state to join the Medicaid Direct Certification Program. Advocate that Medicaid to schools be revised to allow greater flexibility and sign-off. Reduce administrative burden on localities and fund an increase in per-service fees. They support alternative language by breaking it into 3 different resolutions. And if you read them here, it does break them into separate components, which kind of make it, I think, stronger.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on that?
Go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
That's a good one.
And we've been talking about that too. All right, next one, the NHSBA Board of Directors, they recommend deleting and removing this resolution, talking about supporting the efforts of the National School Boards Association, blah, 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 blah. As you might be aware, September 21, the National School Boards Association sent a letter to the U.S. Department of Justice asking for the Department for Federal Assistance to stop threats and acts of violence against public school children, public school board members, and other public school district officials and educators. This letter was sent without notice or consent by not only the NHSBA but every SBA across the country. So far, 25 state school board associations have withdrawn their membership from NHSBA, including from the National School Board Association, including NHSBA, so they therefore believe this should be removed from our Statements of Belief manual. Thoughts on that?
That sounds good. It's no longer relevant.
Yep, sounds good to me. The next one, submitted by Concord. NHSBA will advocate to the state legislature to create a universal and subsidized meal program for NH public school students. This was in too late, so they do not have an opinion on this. But the delegate assembly may take this up by a 2/3 majority if they would like to. Thoughts on that?
I think we should support it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hope has to politic to get 2/3 the vote.
That's right. Got to press the flesh.
You have to politic before the meeting.
I think this will get enough.
I thought they did it last year.
How many show up with that?
If it's good weather this time of year, like they should. How many did you have last year?
There were a bunch.
Like 70?
What's a bunch?
Easily.
10,
Easily?
30?
No, it's 78.
It was a pretty full
A
room.
bunch, you go to the grocery store, it's a bunch.
It's a bunch of bananas,
A
right?
bunch of bananas, you know, I mean.
Yeah, a bunch of bananas. You
Bunch
can
of
only have
bananas.
a bunch of grapes. You might get like 40 or 50.
How many, that's why I was asking you. You guys
Bunches are bunches.
Yeah.
Probably
A
gonna
bunch.
find out.
Well, put
All
that,
right, take a head count
put
this
down,
time.
they've got 70 or 80 people showing up.
I like this one. I mean, you know, we've talked a lot about trying to make it so that kids can get meals. So, you know that. So.
Pretty generous with it.
Well, they passed it in Vermont.
Yes, they did, and
In
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Would you like me to read you the one that you did vote on? It's a continuing resolution.
Oh, last
for
time, sure.
NHSBA. Yep. It says NHSBA supports that the state and federal government seek and provide viable, sustainable, permanent funding to provide a school breakfast and lunch at no cost to students.
Oh,
That's exactly what we need.
yeah. I like this because it advocates directly to the state legislature to do it. So, I mean, there is a little bit of a difference. We'll see what they say.
Yeah.
See what they say and see how it shakes out, I guess. But
Okay.
cool. Are you good then with some direction on this then?
Yes, sure, yep.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you for letting us go through that. Any other comments, questions, concerns on the resolutions? Okay.
We could probably still keep that update on the agenda for the next meeting,
Yes.
because I hope to tell us how it goes.
Yes. All right.
Down farther,
Yeah.
down farther.
Down further.
See if they kicked me out of the room.
Yeah.
Up next on our agenda, we have two field trips for the high school for our approval. One's coming up on the 21st. UNH Ocean Discovery Day, taking some science classes out to UNH. And then FBLA would like to go to Faneuil Hall in Boston in the spring. I'll entertain a motion for approval of those.
To talk about this.
Make a motion
Yeah.
that we approve the high school field trips as presented.
Okay. Do you have a second?
I second.
Vicky seconds. Okay.
Now,
Yes, Brewster.
so this isn't the normal way they give you the field trips list, all right?
Right.
They usually send us, because this the one in Boston, not to be a pain in the ass on this, it's an out-of-state trip, okay? And it's supposed to have this all categorized out farther, that how many are going and who's doing what, you know, it says who the group is, but this is not the normal way they present
In years past.
the years.
Shouldn't we
You go
already-
back,
We had the
We
whole
already
list
did.
already.
you had the whole list?
We had the whole list already. Yeah,
Right.
these are just additional ones that are coming on. I think 2 meetings.
Two
ago?
meetings.
First last meeting.
2 meetings ago.
It was the bus meeting. Yeah.
First, so that's the bus meeting.
I was already told not to come to this meeting, okay? She's not here tonight, so I have an excuse for that meeting, so don't worry about that one, okay?
But yeah, no, they gave us a giant list at that point. But I see what you're saying.
You follow what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So you got, I mean, anything that's out of state, because that wasn't on that list, was it?
I think it was, I think it
You
was
know,
that
Boston was
standard
on the
list.
list?
There are other ones who Austin on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was not for
These
FBLA.
two were on the list, one's in state, one's out of state.
I think it might have, did
See, it makes a
FBLA one say
difference.
TBD or something like that? Because I think they weren't sure where they were
The
going
ones
yet.
where we didn't know
See,
when they
that's
were going
makes-
or
that makes the
when they
difference.
were going, we tabled those, didn't
Yes.
vote on
Yeah.
those.
Not that we don't agree to let them go, it's just that for protocol, it's supposed to be listed all out, okay?
What else needs to be listed out that we need to get on here? Like what city they're going to? What city and
Well, they're
state?
going to Faneuil, Boston,
Yep.
they're going out of state, which
Yep.
we have to oversee. Even if somebody wanted to go to Norwich, we had to okay it.
Yep.
We had to make sure that they were going the same day and coming back the same day.
Yep.
We gotta make sure we know how many people are going and who's the
Advisor
person,
or
yeah, who's in
chaperone?
charge of that, okay?
So I don't remember having a list of how many are going ahead of time.
Well,
we don't
they
know
usually
that.
give
until-
an approximate list, because they usually say, you know, it's like going.
Yeah, they can say how many you
It's
think
like
are
we
going
have,
to go.
like we have the ones that go overseas, we say, we got, we have 10 to 20 go.
Right, right.
Whatever. But those things, I'm just saying, protocol wise, you're supposed to have this stuff listed on here. Not that you're not gonna stop them from going, but I'm just trying to say that.
So the advisor, so for future field trips, we should have
This
advisor,
has
an
gotta be-
approximate number of
It
kids
should,
going.
it should be on there so that he knows that, we're going by that, and the same thing is they're not asking you for, the bus trip, the buses, money for the buses.
Right.
Okay, because it's already included with our field trip agenda stuff that they have on the budgets.
Mhm.
But that's just a FYI that, as the legal person on this board, that's what should be on there, okay?
All right. Is that something we can get on there, or is that?
So here's what the school board policy on field trips and seclusion says. It says the school principal authorizes field trips and excursions. At the beginning of each school year, the school principal shall provide a schedule of all known field trips and excursions to the school board. The schedule must include the class or classes involved, the purpose of the trip, and the destination. The school board must approve any overnight or out-of-state field trips or excursions. So it doesn't say number of people involved, but it does say classes, and this is missing the purpose of the trip.
Yeah, I think that's,
Yeah, well, I did that by memory, so I mean. it's
Pretty good.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close without my brain cells moving.
Okay.
Alright, so you already got the motion on this, that's the only thing I wanted to be noted on that, so that's,
All right.
not that I'm gonna get Tina and I had time about it.
And I mean, yeah, some of that might just be Tina still, in her second year
2
now.
years, yeah.
Yeah. All right, any further comments, questions, concerns on these field trips?
Sorry, but that's.
No, that's why we have a board.
Can we ask them to put that in place? Because they're asking for it to be in the spring, so it gives them a chance to, per se, mend it. Is that how you would say it?
Yeah, I mean, they can also just give them,
That's the date.
let us know what they're going
The
for.
date, yeah, you usually have the date on there, they're going, they know they're going, but.
What is FBLA?
Future
Future
Business Leaders
of America,
America.
yeah.
They went down last year to New York City, so
Yeah.
like, you know, the stuff, if they were here, we could ask them, would be like, oh, is this is it small enough that you're just taking the van, or are you taking the Dartmouth coach down? Or,
Yeah.
and using your fundraising for it, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
That sort of thing, so.
Alright,
So we don't even have to technically approve in-state field trips at all.
You're correct.
We do not have to, that's just a courtesy that we have continued telling the board where we're going, or where they're all going. Out of state, overnight, we do have to approve, so.
but you always see the in-state ones anyway.
Yep, and like I said, just, common courtesy, so we know.
Yeah,
All
alright.
right, cool. All right, further discussion? All those in favor of approving the 2 field trips as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, abstentions. All right, up next on our agenda, we have the SB2 Timeline. This is just for review. Friday, January 5th, I'm not gonna read all these, but just so you know, our deadline to post notice of budget hearing is Tuesday, January 9th. Deadline for public hearing on our budget committee, on the budget committee's proposed budget is Tuesday, January 16th. As the bond hearing, if we have a bond, I don't anticipate having one. First day of filing periods for candidates is the 24th of January. Last day is February 2nd. Our deliberative session will be February 3rd. We've already set that up. A bunch of checklist stuff, deadline for annual report and all that. And then voting is on March 12th.
What's our snow date?
It's on the other sheet that we have talking about our SB2 dates. I believe it is the following Saturday. It usually is the following. We usually grab the first Saturday.
February 3rd and February 10th?
That sounds right.
It's not on the sheet.
Well, no, because this is the state, these are the state dates.
Oh.
Like
okay.
these are our, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are state deadlines, state dates. This is not when we are having, this is tells us the deadline for the public hearings and things like that, so. Just for your information. Any questions on that?
When's our delivery session gonna be?
Deliberative is the 3rd of February next year. So. October 1st enrollment numbers. You have here in your packet, enrollment numbers. You have October 1st on one side, you have a total of 1094 students. And on the other side, you have your comparison broken down by school. You have your 2022, 2023 first day and October 1st, and then you have your current year first day and October 1st listed there. So it looks like they can count just fine at the elementary schools, maybe the other schools. Had a few less students on October 1st.
Yeah, there's what, like 20,
That's all right.
20-ish?
Yeah, it's about
I know
20.
what I wanted to tell you. That's what I want to tell you, it's enrollment.
Is it about enrollment?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Croydon's gonna let, that's part of that, right? Croydon's not gonna let
Oh, yeah.
one school.
They don't automatically go to Newport.
Yep. They
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
Not gonna let them
They have to
go-
apply.
Newport has to, yeah, Newport has to,
Huh?
Newport has to
Accept.
accept them.
South Lake.
They does? They do? I thought it was in the paper the other day, they said they work on it.
No, they have to, right now, they automatically go to Newport without any paperwork or anything, and now Newport's like, no, you have to apply, we have to approve you
Right.
before we take you
How
into
close is
it.
Croydon to us?
It's one town south of Grantham.
Right, so it's,
There you go.
Good half an hour. I mean, if they're offering choice, they could certainly come here.
yeah.
That's the only
We
reason why I
can
brought that up,
Yeah.
because I saw that in the paper the other day. So,
I mean, we could certainly reach out to the middle school, to the,
Try to
Croydon Middle
steal,
School.
try to steal some from the
Yeah,
students.
we could make, if that's how they're gonna do it, and we can certainly let Croydon know that we are here, and
Okay,
if your parent maybe works nearby and wants to bring you up here, then
wants to be enrolled here,
Yeah.
teach here. and-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Call Greg, too.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
they have an area agreement.
I don't know.
Grantham, I
Yeah.
think, too, because they got some
Cool,
good
go ahead.
athletes over
This is
there.
a general question.
Yes.
Why, just curious, why would there be less on October 1st students?
So sometimes it's just a hiccup in enrollment, like a student has moved out of district or chosen to go homeschool, and we just haven't put that into our system yet.
Oh, so they might not have even showed up.
Right.
Okay. So it's not that they come and then say, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nice to see the numbers on the first day, the enrollment numbers, but it's better to see the October 1st numbers,
Which is,
because those are
that's
always,
like just reality.
that's reality.
Okay.
October 1st is reality.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you very well could have,
Thought you were gonna be enrolled, and then you're not here.
yeah, or you
Okay.
moved, or even like, just a simple math error on the first day of school,
Right.
you know what I mean, at one of the
Yep,
grades, so,
All right.
catches that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I thought, wow, that's a lot of kids leaving.
It is, and we often see that, like, there's quite a bit of movement. Sometimes in past years, we've seen those numbers increase,
Right.
Yeah.
but lately they have gone down.
All right, further questions on that?
No.
Okay, up next, we have bids for propane, oil, and pellets. We'll start with pellets, as listed here. So you see, we solicited from 3 different firms. Only one came back, Lime Green Heat, our neighbor next door. They've come back with a quote of $305 per ton for a total of 400 tons for a total of $122,000. Sandry Energy, which we had requested bids from in the past, they no longer have bulk pellet business because it was purchased by Lime Green Heat. So they didn't bid. So our only bid is Lime Green Heat. And as we know, they will service, they will help us with service and things like that too. So that is the recommended bid on pellets.
Make a motion, accept lime green heat.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Danielle seconds. Any discussion on this?
It's over budget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to buy pellets for $305 a ton myself though. Because they are now about $375 a ton.
Really?
If you buy them retail. They were $240 a ton 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's still not as much as oil, but it's still quite a bit.
What did we budget?
I know that,
98.
98?
That's all right. We'll
That's not
find-
too bad.
We'll find some money.
All right.
I
Okay.
know that in the finance facility, Corrado's quite pleased with the service he's
Lime.
getting from Lime.
Yeah,
What's
definitely.
that?
Yeah.
Corrado's very pleased with the service that we've been getting from Lime Green Heat,
Oh.
helping us out with our boilers and all that sort of thing. So, all right. Any further discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of awarding the bid to Lime Green Heat signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Up next, we have propane. We put out to 4 companies. Only 2 came back with a bid. It is recommended. We have Irving at $1.34.1 for as their price, and Dead River with $1.50 per gallon for their price. Prior year we used 5,525 gallons, so we're estimating Irving's bid would cost just over 8,046, and Dead River would be 9,000. So the recommendation is to go with Irving. We have been going with Irving for quite some time.
Yeah, I make
If
a
I'm not
motion,
mistaken.
we accept urban energy.
Okay,
Second.
and Danielle second. Any further discussion on that?
It's too bad you guys can't get it for $1.34.
Yeah, right. All those in favor of awarding the bid to Irving Energy as recommended signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right, up next we have fuel bids for oil. As you know, we don't use a ton of oil. We used about 13,538 gallons last year. It is primarily used to kickstart the system as a good backup just to have and to warm up the buildings on Monday mornings. Again, put it out to 4 companies. 2 came back with bids, Dead River and Irving. Dead River came back with $3.37 a gallon. Irving came back with $3.22.1 a gallon. Estimating Irving with 40,263 at 12,500 gallons. So the recommendation is to go with Irving, who's doing our propane. So,
Make a motion, we go with Irving Oil.
all right,
For that bid.
Second.
all right. Any further discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of awarding the bid for oil to Irving Energy, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right, that is all set.
Did, back up a minute
Yeah.
on this. Did, you guys were at the finance facility meeting, did Corrado stick the tanks and all that stuff and find out what the oil
I did not ask him what it was for,
reserves are right now at our places before they,
before it gets cold.
before they sit around and say, well, only got 500 gallons in one of the tanks?
Good question. I did not ask him that.
Because remember I brought that up
Yeah.
months ago? Well, yeah,
We
a
can
long
follow
time
up
ago.
with him on that.
They are sticking it on a regular basis. I don't know what we have for oil right now.
Because they brought it in last year, we had trouble. Because
We had 5 gallons in the tank.
we had trouble, we had to get it stick.
I feel like he's got a schedule.
Yeah,
What's that?
There's a kind of a schedule.
He's got it scheduled?
like he's got it on a routine. I don't think he's gonna let that happen again.
All right, gotcha.
Agenda items for next meeting. So we'll have committee reports, delegate assembly update, our PD newsletter. We'll have some policies, of course. Anything else from anybody? Can we get an update on the school board representative from the students?
I can give you one right now.
Perfect.
So,
So I understand they want to do 2, I think.
right now, we only have one candidate in.
Okay.
And I did remind them that there does have to be a vote,
By
that takes
students.
place. So they will eventually do that. I think they thought, oh, there's only one candidate, that person's on automatic, and I said, no, by statute, it needs to be a voted position, so.
Is it a junior or a senior?
It's a senior, it would be,
Okay. Is there a way that we can find out if a junior, because I know we've talked about having 2 that they can alternate back and forth, so that way there's always somebody here? I don't know if that's a possibility.
sure, I can ask
You
them
can
to
ask.
continue to look, but I think it was difficult to find one.
Yeah, okay.
Why can't they get a sophomore
Or sophomore,
or
yeah.
freshman or?
Apparently, this is such a glamorous place to be on a Tuesday night,
I
no
know.
one wants to do it.
Yeah.
Sad.
I'm retired, that's why
Dan thinks we're.
You've already lost your eligibility.
You know,
Eligibility's gone. You
If
lost
there
it.
was a way for a kid to get extra credit or something like
We
that.
tried, remember I keep trying to bring that
Yeah,
up?
if there's a way to tie it to a civics class or something like that, I don't know, I'm just
Yeah.
spitballing.
Or,
here.
or an ELO.
ELO,
I think your kids who are involved are involved in a lot of
they're
things.
so
Yeah.
involved,
right?
in stuff. There's only so
hard.
many kids,
Yeah,
I know.
but we at least have one,
Good.
so we will
Well,
continue.
tell similar, whoever's in trouble, we'll make them come to that.
Maybe that's what it is, Brewster. You go ahead and get a
community
suspension.
service.
Get a suspension.
That's
Come here.
You serve your suspension coming down here to be a student rep. So, here's you go out of school
That's
suspension.
insurance and athlete.
Out of school suspension, you go in.
You get to go hang out with the school board.
The school board.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll have them have
we'll straighten out.
have them
real quick.
straighten out real time.
Really, straighten out one
We're
day.
gonna send them to budget committee too.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'll get them going. All right, anything else for next meeting? All right,
That would work. I mean,
public comment? Anything on the bottom of the?
Just a quick one, I'm very much in favor of universal meals, but when the state comes back and says we're gonna pay 40 cents,
Yeah,
you're going to say, that's gonna be interesting, because that's what's happening with the new thing where they've lowered made more schools available to take it, but none of the schools are doing it because it's too expensive.
it's a bad deal. Yeah.
Right.
It's a bad deal.
that's what,
There's too much McGarry.
The state's not gonna fund it. They can say, sure, go ahead and do it, but there's not gonna be a lot of funding there for it. So,
yeah. That's the other thing was in the paper. There's only 2 schools that.
Two out of-
Yeah.
That was the other thing was in the paper.
yeah, only 2 out of the 20, and
Yeah.
now it's up to 85, and I suspect you won't get any more,
No,
because they've all figured out that, A, the paperwork's too much, and B, the reimbursement's nothing.
yeah, it's,
Sounds familiar.
yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So many
one,
other things.
it's one school in Claremont, one school in Westmoreland, so
Yep,
that's
yeah,
it.
that was the other things in there.
Yeah,
Read the Manchester Union, you get a lot of information. Donnie was gonna put nothing.
you gotta get the next day. All right, sorry, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Up next, we have personnel resignations and nominations, and I assume it's both of these here?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you can't talk about this in public, right?
these are the continuing ones, right?
Right, but if
So-
you have a specific concern about a person, you would need to go into.
We can talk about it non-public, we can table this till after. if you
All
want.
right, let's table this till after.
We'd like to table this till after? Okay,
I
we
would
can do
like
that.
to, because of,
Sure.
certain ones I've seen
You want to
online.
discuss? Fair. All right, and then I assume we have non-public for the personal reasons, matter of personnel?
Correct.
All right, entertain a motion to go non-public.
I make a motion, we go non-public.
Okay,
Second?
all right, Brewster,
Yes.
Danielle,
Yes.
Tim, yes, Hope,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
All right, we are in non-public.